Hello there, and thanks for joining me on the last season of this series. Springtime, time to bring home the bacon, and we'll be doing that in S1 cars of the modern muscle type. So I had a quick look in my garage and saw this Dodge SRT Viper GTS eyeballing me, practically begging me to take it for a spin in this spring season. I warned him about the road conditions. We were not going for a Sunday drive. We were getting down and dirty. We would be playing rough with the big boys. And he said he was up for the task. Little did I know at that time he was not. He really was not. And neither was I. First task at hand, the Cotswold Road Rally Trail, a point-to-point race. 3 people, including myself, in this Dodge Viper, and also one driver. So I'm still thinking I made a good choice. I'm starting on the last row, but in all of my naivety, I'm not yet worried one bit. But it won't be long before I start blaming the car. Hey, if things go wrong, I need a scapegoat, okay? For now, this trial, I just blame the car. But things don't start off that badly. Messy, yes, very much so. A lot of transportation. I think the Starship Enterprise is playing a role in this start. And a lot of bumper car action, but I work my way up the leaderboard. When things finally start settling down a little bit, I'm in 5th, 6th position more or less. Not too bad considering we just started. I tried to give space to our space-shifting colleague in one of the other Vipers, but that's hard with Scotty overhead. That causes me to take a bad racing line, but nothing too major just yet. For now I remain in 6th place. A small nudge just before the corner makes me slow down as to not get in his way. He decides to transfer some of his paint to the wall and I gain 1 place. And he keeps on nudging me, taking back that place, but I also trust one driver. Now I stay on his right, I not want to hit him, but that puts me in a bad spot for the turn. He rightfully gets the cutback on me and I start to notice my car does not really like the dirt. In the next corner, I get on the gas, just like I usually do. But my car just won't straighten up and I inevitably visit a beautiful patch of pinkish purple flowers. My car likes the flowers better than the dirt, I suppose. Once I rejoin the race, I'm still in front of the Ford Mustang. He really must have picked the wrong car. I have to be careful, especially on these jumps. Not go for the full lunge as I usually go for. I'm in 11th place and really struggling to have my car go where I want it to go. Nevertheless, I think I'm still gaining on the pack in front. The 90-degree corner is a difficult one, but at least we're back on the asphalt. Will I be able to gain some places, catch up with some of the driver cars, score at least some points in this race? And yes we do, in true Mission Impossible style. This is some real stunt driving, baby! But it also indicates that this is the only overtake possible, as the one in front just reached maximum velocity. So afraid of my stunt driving skills, he ignited all of his afterburners at once. And that means a 10th place for us. I gained only 1 place from my starting position. Which doesn't sound too bad, but it really is when racing against drivators. I scored 100 points for the team and, well, even that was not really necessary, as we have more than sufficient points. That means a first victory point for the human team, and also a lot of stress for me, now that I know my car is not that well suited for the dirt sections. I can only hope that the next race goes a little bit better. I can only hope that I can keep my car better under control. I'm just blaming the car. I did nothing wrong. It is all just the car. Lucky for me, the next race is a circuit race. I know these tracks better than the point-to-point races, so that might help. And I start at the same spot again. Position 11 out of 12. And I stand here wondering if the first corner will be just as big of a pile-up as the first couple of corners in the previous race. I hope not, but I fear it will be. We're starting and I try to avoid the Ford Mustang, but hit the yellow Corvette. Apart from a little bump, I can avoid all the other cars and make it cleanly through the corner. This puts me in a 5th position as we're now heading towards the hill for a first time. And I have a good enough run to slowly start creeping up to the cars in front. But I know the dirt section is coming up. And I have a little bit of a strange entrance to the corner. And I also take it rather badly, losing some momentum. Not at all a good start of the dirt section, but I can't put the power down on this straight and I gain a lot on the 2 driver cars in front. The corners are killing me, but still I am able to claim those 2 places. I'm up in 3rd place. Not too shabby, taking into account I really have a hard time keeping my car straight. The 2 in front have a strong lead and behind me I have some cars really close. This will probably mean I will struggle to keep this position for this race, but I will try my best. I head towards the finish line for a first time. I really enjoy this track, especially the part that leads up to the hill. And that is coming up now. And I keep it firmly to the left for this corner. Then hit the apex as well as you can on the next one, going all the way to the left so you can also hit the apex on the next corner perfectly and then again go to the left. Or at least that's how it's supposed to be done. My run was far from perfect but good enough to gain back some of the distance the leaders had built up, and it seems they had some shenanigans going on as I could catch up to one of them. But now we're on the dreaded gravel and I'm way out of my element. For that next corner I have to brake early, but the love tap on my rear does not help and I can barely make the turn. He's off again and I can see how he goes about making his corner. I think he's struggling a bit as well, but is just a lot braver, more committed than I am. We go towards the 90-degree corner at the bottom of the hill, a real fun corner if you happen to take it properly. I did a better job, but it is not enough to catch him. I stay on the left side to get a real decent run on the next corner, but I wanted to brake later than my teammate. That caused me to hit him and also to pass him in the corner. Another run through this pre-hill section. I use the same line as described before, and again I have a decent run. I can create even a small lead, but will it be enough? It all starts with the sharp corner, which goes, well, not perfectly far from, but good enough. And now the straight. And after that straight, we have the 2 problematic corners where I need to slow down a lot or miss the racing line completely. Well, I was on the racing line, more or less, until I get shoved out of the way and get passed once again. I'm just glad I can keep my car on the gravel as I try to regain the place back. And I want it so badly I make another crucial mistake. That corner is fun if taken correctly. Hell in all other cases, like this one. And that's it, no more second place for me. I did not brake in time, and that was entirely my own fault. No matter how badly I want to blame the car for that one, I just can't. 3rd place it is, and well, that's still a decent result in my book. It seems we have the first 5 positions, so that for sure is a second victory and another championship point. 2-0 for the human team. And, ladies and gentlemen, drumroll please, 3rd race is for honor only. Wait, where was that drumroll? But how will the 3rd race go? Will it go in my favor again like the 2nd race, or will I bottle it like the 1st race? Well, chances are about 50-50 I would say. When choosing this car, I knew it had rally tires, but that's about it. I'm starting to think that this car was built for road during winter and not really for rally events. Maybe it performs better on real dirt as we only had gravel so far. I'm not sure. I do know that I really struggled until now. First line of the human player in the Derwent Reservoir Trail. First line is good. The fact that it is another point-to-point race, not so much. I never remember these tracks so well. And when one has to be careful with the handling of a car, that tends to slow things down or become prone to error, or both. And they are somewhat troublesome. Off we go, and with very little shenanigans and even less trouble, I can follow the Corvette through the entire driver top pack and end up in second place at a mere 5% of the race. And I can even get in pole position, but I was a little bit too brave through the corner, as was he, and we go side by side over the bridge. I decide to let him go in the next corner as I'm on the outside, and I do not want to fight him too much. So far, so good. I wish that Forza would let us categorize our cars, or even better, tunes, so that when having to pick a car, you know what it is good at. Currently, when choosing a tune, you have a couple of stats, and that's about it. You can't even see if a car or a tune has rally tires, and that's just plain annoying. We have 3 different types of events and 4 seasons. That is 12 different conditions one can race in. It would be nice if we could somehow mark our tunes with what conditions it thrives in. For those with a couple of hundred cars, choosing one for a certain race can become a nightmare. It is impossible to keep track of what car has which tune and what it was best suited for. So, what happens in the end? We all pick the same cars over and over again, as we know that those are the ones that can handle it. More so when racing online, especially ranked races. Most of us have a piece of paper with a list of cars and conditions to take them in, which is far from ideal. Wouldn't it be nice if something like this existed inside the game? Maybe just a marker you can set on a tune with the 12 presets, you know, the racing conditions, or maybe even just a free text field that can be searched on when picking a car. In the meantime, back in the race, you could see me battle it out for second place with one of the other Vipers. For now, I am back in second place, and here's me hoping to keep it like that. However, the dirt section is yet to come, so who knows if I will be able to cling on to my current position. I guess we will find out now, as here we go. And already I'm struggling a lot to find a proper way through this gravel road. I can't even make the next corner. And that just leaves me vulnerable for the overtaking, which happens immediately. Only 5% left in the race, and I'm downgraded to third place once again. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is also my finishing position, third place. But on the other hand, the first 4 positions are ours, and again we have a victory royale, or at least a very royal victory. We have more than 2,000 points over Team Drivatar. That must be sufficient to call it royal, right? Our honor is defended once again. Maybe I would have liked second place this final race, but first was never in the basket for me. Not on any of the races, actually, not on this championship. But of course, all of this still means we have 3 victory points for the blue team. The human team brought home the bacon, all right, baby. We are championship winners, and in exchange for all of this bacon that we brought home, we get a 1996 Chevrolet Impala. I hope you had some fun watching me struggle and even fail a couple of times. At least then it would not have been for naught. You can express those overwhelming feelings of joy. Even share them by pressing the like button or the subscribe button. Leave a comment. What do you think of the suggestion to name or even mark tunes and or cars? Let me know. And I do hope to see you again next time. Cheers.